Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching Ding, the Political Vigilante, making Gotham great again, folks. Thank you to all that came out to all the live shows I did with Lee Camp in Europe and the shows I did in New York, Madison, and Michigan, and Cincinnati, and Chicago, and everybody who came out to those shows. It was amazing, and the comedy special was great, so I really appreciate it. The comedy special will be out probably by January. So I appreciate you supporting the show. One of the things we've talked about on the show is odd occurrences. And I got to be careful what I say on this segment because it's ripe for a shutdown. We've obviously been demonetized since February 2021. But I just have some questions. So we all know Seth Rich he worked for the DNC, and he was murdered in what was called a robbery attempt in Washington, D.C. Nobody has ever been arrested in relation to that shooting. And the FBI supposedly did not have his laptop. And now that they do, and there's some inconsistencies what they've said about that. And Julian Assange referenced Seth Rich in an interview. Julian Assange did not say Seth Rich was directly one of the whistleblowers. He alluded to it. You can draw your own conclusions from that. So I'm not here to say who or why Seth Rich was murdered, but a question was asked. Some questions should be asked, and it should be investigated. And if it was just a random crime, why is this stuff with his laptop? There's a lot of questions I have with the laptop. So I saw Gordon Dimmick put this up. Gordon's a friend of the show. I interviewed him when I was in London for the Julian Assange event. You should follow what he does as well. So this was on Tyler Durden. So this is Zero Hedge. FBI asked court for 66 years to release Seth Rich laptop information. The FBI is asking a U.S. court to reverse its order that it produce information from Seth Rich laptop computer. If the court does not, the Bureau wants 66 years to produce the information. So I'm going to go into a little bit of what's been asked. So they U.S. District Judge Amos Mazant, an Obama appointee, ruled in September that the Bureau must hand over information from the computer to Brian Huddleston, a Texas man who filed a Freedom of Information Act, a FOIA request for the info. So he has the legal right to do that. So the FBI is supposed to hand out. Now, the FBI claimed that it never possessed it. It never possessed his laptop, but they contradicted themselves. So that's not true. The FBI, after claiming it never possessed Rich's laptop or any information from it, acknowledged in 2020 that it had thousands of files from the computer. So how can you have files from the computer if you're claiming you never possessed it? So right there, the FBI is contradicting itself. That should raise a question. But you're not allowed to ask any questions with regard to Seth Rich at all. You're just a nutbag, conspiracy theorist, QAnon, ding dong, Pizzagate, fruitcake. That's how they've handled this. So I'm not allowed to ask any questions, even though there's evidence that the FBI has contradicted themselves. A judge, an Obama appointee judge, said the FBI has to give this information over. I'm not making any of this stuff up. I'm just telling you what's available. And this is the thing that drives me nuts about the corporate media. All of this information is available. If you watch the show on any regular basis or even Government Secrets, I don't delve, and Lee and I don't delve in wild conspiracies. We get Freedom of Information Act documents, stuff that is on public record and public knowledge. And we just talk about it. The question I always have, why isn't the corporate media, with all of its resources, why aren't they really investigating this? I find it odd that they're not doing more of an investigation about this. It's just curious what they investigate and what they don't. I'm one guy in his apartment. Okay. I went surfing yesterday. I don't have a staff. Anyway, this is the Bureau's response. The Bureau is currently working on getting the files from Seth Rich's personal laptop into a format to be reviewed, the government said at the time. So apparently this is the big thing, is it's just too much. It's taking too long for the FBI to get the files. Okay. Information material extracted from the computer were provided by a source to an FBI agent during a meeting on March 15th, 2018, FBI records officer Michael Siddell said in a declaration. So again, this is not wild conspiracies. This is all information that is readily available. It's public knowledge. Again, this is the FBI did not open an investigation into the murder of Seth Rich, nor did it provide investigative or technical assistance to any investigation into the murder of Seth Rich. Why doesn't the FBI want to rule this? So they're just like, oh, it was a street crime. It's DC police's issue. But he worked for the DNC. And any reasonable investigator, be it with the FBI or DC police, always ask for a motive, right? In any murder investigation, it's always, what's the motive? Well, he worked for the DNC. He had this laptop with a lot of sensitive information on it. Some people theorize that was the Podesta emails that came out on WikiLeaks, which those have never been refuted. John Podesta himself has never said, oh, those emails were faked. Hillary Clinton herself has never said those emails have been faked. They've said that WikiLeaks is working with Russia and made these accusations, but they've never said the emails were faked. And if these emails were doctored, it is the most provable thing. Anybody with any just cursory knowledge of computers and software could go, oh, these are fake emails. So no one has ever said the emails were faked. So that to me seems like enough probable cause for a investigator with the FBI to say we should investigate this a little more. But they didn't. So because the FBI did not open the investigation, so they chose to not open the investigation, okay, maybe they have legit reasons, but as a result, the FBI has never extracted the data from the compact disc and never processed the information contained on the disc. So again, this murder happened in 2016, not 1996. So I'm assuming the FBI has fairly modern software and computer equipment to extract this data, I would think. If the court overrules the FBI's motion, the FBI wants to produce records at a rate of 500 pages per month. At that rate, it will take almost 67 years just to produce the documents, never mind the images and other files. Ty Clevenger, a lawyer representing Huddleston. So Huddleston, again, is the guy that got the Freedom of Information Act. So the FBI apparently technologically can only produce 500 pages a month. Doesn't this seem crazy to you? That it would take 67, almost 66, almost 67 years? So I really wanted to get to the bottom of this. Is there a technological problem at the FBI? Again, I'm just asking these questions. I'm not making any insinuation. I'm just asking, why won't they investigate? Why didn't they investigate it? And why is it going to take them so long to produce? I'm not a computer scientist. I mean, I have a MacBook that's about a year old, and I could probably open these files from somebody's disk or whatever. I know I could probably, but maybe. So I was actually able to get an interview and live footage from the FBI. I'm about to show you guys right now inside the FBI. This is their modern state-of-the-art computer facility. And maybe they can answer why this is going to take 66 years. So this is actual footage that was given to me. I have permission from the FBI to show this.
When we say computer, we mean the electronic computer.
Modern day footage. This is what's happening. We're talking about an electronic computer. Well, maybe that's it, guys. So they're doing an electronic computer. Okay. I mean, that seems pretty state of the art. And so I wanted to also, I got an interview directly with the head of the FBI's computer forensic scientist team. They're going to answer some direct questions for us so we can figure out. So maybe it's a tech issue. I'm not accusing the FBI of anything. They might just, so if this is they might just have outdated computer equipment, but we're going to talk to the head of their, who we can get it always. It's coming in live right now. This is the head of the FBI's forensic investigative computer technical unit. I forget what the official name is, but this is the head of their unit that can go through computer files and for evidence. So can you tell us why it's going to take 67 years, Agent? Can you? Is it? Well, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just asking why. Can you tell us why you can't? Why it's good? Couldn't you download it sooner? Like, couldn't this just take like a couple of hours at the most? I mean, using high-speed data transfer, couldn't you? I don't think you need to yell at me, sir. I'm just asking a question. I'm just asking a reasonable question.
Just click out of the video if you need to.
Yeah, just click out of the video. I mean, I understand you're under a lot of pressure at the FBI and you have a lot of cases you're covering, and Seth Rich is just one of them, but I just thought.
Oh. Did you get him? Did you get him? That's a good boy.
No, you guys are doing great work at the FBI, and we appreciate you.
Say hi. Hi. Get him, big boy. Who's that?
Thank you. That's the political vigilante. Hi. Maybe you could support our Patreon. Okay, guys. Well, that's the FBI's answer as to why it's going to take them 67 years to unload Seth Rich's computer, which I guess that, I mean, I get it. They're under a lot of pressure over there. They've got to do a lot of files. They've got a computer system that's a whole room, and it's an electronic computer. So that's what we're doing here, guys. We're getting to the heart of the matter, and all sounds reasonable to me. So I totally accept that it'll take 67 years for them to get to all the information off of Seth Rich's computer. So no more questions need to be asked, guys. They answered it. I felt like those were fair. I mean, I asked some tough questions. I think they gave me fair answers. That interview got a little hot at the end, the barking at the screen, but I think, you know, I'm happy with it. So I'm going to let this go, guys. We're just done. I trust the FBI, and so should you. Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth, and shave your knuckles for justice, folks. And that's how we'll make Gotham great again. Please support what we're doing here so we can do some hard-hitting investigative journalism like we just did, talking directly to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Thank you for watching. Boom.